Ahsoka comes out in just 2 days, and today I want to kind of tell you guys what I think is going to happen in this show and give my final predictions. But before we do that, guys, I have to say thank you. We have hit 500 subscribers, and I seriously just can't believe it. I never thought I would even hit 50 subscribers, and the fact that I've just hit 500, it just means so much to me. And we now have a community just growing every single day of people who enjoy Star Wars, who enjoy Marvel, who enjoy just everything. I've wanted to start a YouTube channel for so long, and I was just so nervous and so hesitant to start it. So if there's anything I need to say, it's telling you that if you ever have a passion to do something and you're worried about the outcome, you cannot fail if you keep trying. I know 500 is a super small number, but it's a big milestone for me, and I know we're only going to get bigger and grow from here. So I just wanted to say thank you so much. Now, if you guys have been following the channel, you know that I have said at 500 subs, I'm doing a giveaway. So if you guys want to win this copy of the prequel comic for Spider-Man 2, the new game coming out in just 2 months, all you have to do is hit the subscribe button, like this video, and tell me in the comments what you think is going to happen in Ahsoka. We're going to be covering everything Marvel and Star Wars on this channel, so to enter the giveaway, again, all you have to do is hit subscribe, like the video, and let me know what you think is going to happen in this show. But with all the gushy stuff out of the way, let's talk about what I think is actually going to happen in this show, Ahsoka. It's so close. I can't believe we're getting it in 2 days. It feels like they just announced it yesterday, even though it's been like, what, a year, if not more? So let's talk about it. On Tuesday night, we're getting the first 2 episodes of Ahsoka. Now, I think these 2 episodes are going to be the foundation that sets up pretty much the rest of the series. We know that the combined runtime of these first 2 episodes is about 1 hour and 36 minutes. I think the first one is going to heavily focus on us being reintroduced to our Rebels characters that we know and love from the series, and it will really give us a point of contact and a relationship starting point for each of these characters that some people may not know if they haven't watched the series. I feel like we're going to get great introductions with not only Ahsoka, but our main villains, Baylan and Shin. And along with that, we're going to get a great reintroduction to Sabine and hopefully Hera and Chopper. I don't know if Zeb is going to be in this series. He was definitely in The Mandalorian Season 3, but I don't know if he's going to pop up in Ahsoka because, well, they haven't marketed him. But we do know The Mandalorian Season 3 takes place at the same time as Ahsoka, so maybe there's some intertwining we can do. I think these first 2 episodes are going to be a little bit slower pace, setting up the grand story that they're going to tell throughout this season. And I should preface this by saying I don't know anything about the leaks. I don't know any spoilers for this show, so this is me just thinking about what I've seen in the trailers, what I know about the characters, and where I think it's going to go. Something tells me with Thrawn's imminent return, we're going to have to see Ahsoka really take the place of her master, Anakin Skywalker, and become the master and train a Padawan. And I think she's going to have to wrestle with her past and the choices she made and kind of connect it to the choices Sabine has made and see where that leads her as a potential Jedi. Do I think she has the Force? I don't know. I'm waiting to see. I honestly would be happy either way. We know that she's wielded the darksaber and lightsabers in the past, and we know she's going to be wielding one in this show. So maybe she is Force sensitive, maybe she's not. But I think a lot of the show is going to focus on that relationship between Ahsoka and Sabine and Ahsoka's relationship with her former master, Anakin Skywalker. I think it's going to be somewhat of a parallel with Baylan and Shin and Sabine and Ahsoka. A master and apprentice, 2 there always are, as Yoda says. And speaking of the villains, I think they're going to be bad guys, but I don't think they're going to be the traditional sense of the Sith that we know or like the Inquisitors. I think they have a very set agenda and a very specific objective that they're trying to complete. I think they're trying to find the star map or the world between worlds, and Ahsoka has to try and stop them. These are just very basic plot points that I think may happen in the show. I don't know any details, but I'm really interested to see both the heroes and the villains of this story. I don't think Thrawn is going to make an appearance till maybe midway through the series, and I definitely don't think we're going to see Ezra, at least in the present sense, until maybe the end. I also think this season of Ahsoka is not a complete story. I think that this show and this season is going to be sort of the beginning or a midpoint for the movie that's coming out that Dave Filoni is creating that will come out and connect the universes of Book of Boba Fett, Mandalorian, Ahsoka, and everything else that's coming out in between then. This is sort of going to be a very prominent chapter in the story, and I don't think we're going to see Thrawn get defeated in this season. I don't think we're going to see too many characters die or pass off. While I don't think this show is going to be a complete overall story, I do think there is going to be stories contained within this season that give full arcs. I really want to connect with these characters more. Some people have not watched Rebels. Some people have not watched Clone Wars. I'm expecting those people to not know who half of these people are in this show, which if you haven't watched Rebels, again, go watch it. It's incredible. I don't think Ahsoka is going to die. I don't think Sabine is going to die. I do see the two antagonists maybe getting killed off, or maybe one of them getting turned to the light side. And I especially don't see Thrawn or Ezra dying, just because we know what's to come with the Heir to the Empire movie that's being suggested at Lucasfilm and Disney. With that in mind, we have to really think about what the stakes could potentially be for this show, because if we don't have characters' lives at risk, what is at risk? The star map / wayfinder thing that we've seen in the trailers really reminds me of that arc in the Clone Wars, and I think they did an arc similar in Rebels, where Palpatine is trying to find Force-sensitive children, and it's up to the Jedi and the good guys to stop the bad guys from finding out this knowledge, this information that could lead to worse things. So I'm kind of getting the same vibe with that, but we know there's going to be tons of action, tons of lightsaber fights, and it's going to feel like those cartoons and TV shows have come to life. I'm expecting to pull elements from The Mandalorian, from Andor, from everything that Star Wars has sort of built off of in the past couple years, and really meld it and weld it and just combine it all into one. I'm fine with some slow parts in the show. I'm fine with fast-paced action. I just want to relate to these characters more because, well, I love them. Now, as far as Anakin Skywalker's potential appearance in this show, yes, we know Hayden Christensen is returning in his role as Anakin Skywalker, or maybe Vader, in this show. I think we're gonna maybe get 2 or 3 appearances throughout this season. One, I think we're gonna see a Clone Wars flashback. I remember a long time ago there were rumors that a young version of Ahsoka was cast for this show, and why would they cast a young Ahsoka unless we're getting some flashbacks? I've said it a million times in all the other videos that I've posted, but to see Anakin Skywalker, maybe even Obi-Wan, in a flashback with young Ahsoka learning the ropes maybe in a battle during the Clone Wars, and it wouldn't just be fan service because we're getting these moments with our characters that shape the decisions that they're probably going to make within this season. The lessons Ahsoka has learned from Anakin are going to be translated into the lessons that she teaches Sabine. And I think that's really poetic, and it allows us to have these fan servicey cameo moments that actually have purpose. Second, I think we're going to see Anakin as a Force ghost. Remember, this takes place after Return of the Jedi, so we've already seen Anakin's Force ghost at the end of that movie, and this takes place after, therefore it is possible to see his Force ghost. We also have questions on how Luke and Ahsoka met, because we know they've met each other during the Book of Boba Fett, so I want to see that first reaction if that's possible, and maybe Anakin sort of intermediately popping up in between those moments. And lastly, we could possibly see him as Vader. The World Between Worlds opens up so many possibilities, but it's kind of dangerous because it plays with the canon of the Star Wars universe. We've already seen Ahsoka's life being saved by Ezra using the World Between Worlds. Now, what happens if Ahsoka goes there and sees Anakin turning to Darth Vader? Now, I know that sounds ridiculous, but the possibilities are endless with this concept. We could see the Rebels fight between Ahsoka and Vader in live action again. We could see many different things. Hell, we can see anything. Now, I want to say this again because I've also said this in all of my videos. I don't want to get my expectations too high, because as I said earlier in this video, I don't think that this is a complete contained story. I think this season arcs to everything else we're going to see in the future. I also maybe have a feeling that Ezra and Thrawn have been together for a long time since the ending of Rebels, and we don't really know where the relationship has gone, and maybe if Ezra has possibly been manipulated by Thrawn, or Thrawn has turned to the good side. Maybe he has a different agenda. I'm just throwing things out there because we see Thrawn in the trailer, but we don't see Ezra. But we know Ezra's still alive because, well, Thrawn's alive. So what happened at the end of Rebels when Thrawn and Ezra used the Purgils to go into hyperspace? I want those questions answered as well. And what if Ezra is possibly on the dark side now? What if Thrawn, one, he's a master manipulator, kind of like Palpatine, he is the heir to the Empire. What if he broke Ezra down? What if he turned Ezra to the dark side and used him, and maybe he's even that Inquisitor that we see in the trailer? I highly doubt it. All we've seen from Ezra in this show is that hologram flashback in the trailer. There are so many questions unanswered, and I do think we're going to get answers as to what Ezra has been up to, but I don't think we're going to see Ezra a bunch in this season. I think the main arc that I want to see in this season is Ahsoka coming to terms with her past, leaving the Jedi Order, leaving Anakin, and then sort of redeeming herself as a Jedi by training Sabine. As we know, Ahsoka has many times throughout Star Wars claimed to not be a Jedi. This show could pull a fast one on us. What if this show is not about Thrawn's grand plan, not about the heir to the Empire, because we know that's coming in the future? What if this show is about her confronting her past? I think that's going to be the main theme throughout this. Coming to terms with leaving Anakin, leaving the Jedi Order, possibly feeling some sort of guilt of his turn to the dark side, and making sure that doesn't happen to Sabine. Down in the comments, let me know what you think is going to happen in Ahsoka to enter the giveaway for 500 subs. Again, thank you so much. We're actually at 520 now, and it's just crazy to me. You guys are absolutely amazing. I love interacting with every single one of you. I read all of the comments, and I most likely will respond if they're positive. So again, we're only 2 days away from this show. I am so excited. I'm going to be pumping out videos of both Marvel and Star Wars as much as possible for you guys. So with that being said, I will see you on Tuesday.